Yes, I'm live now. Welcome once again to another day video. This is Santu Sahu and you are watching Sahu's tutorial. And in this YouTube video, I'll be covering some important MCQ question on English literature for the upcoming CUET PG English literature exam. I am conducting 1000 mock test series for the upcoming CUET PG English literature exam. So this is the part 16. In the previous, sorry, in the previous 15 videos, I have discussed teach 600 important MCQ questions along with explanation. And in this YouTube video, I'll be also covering another 50 important questions along with explanation. So do hurry and join the session. I think everything is okay and I am audible and visible to all of you. So do let me know if everything is okay. And without delaying, here is your first question on your screen. But before starting the session, this is my humble request to all of you. Please do subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon to get more notification that I will upload in future. So here is your first question on your screen. Please do answer. And if you want me to make video on any particular topic, you can write down in the comment box. I will definitely try to make video on this topic. So here is your first question on your screen. Please do answer. Okay. Yes. Yes, everything is okay. So let's get started. The first question is that Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking is a poem that asserts the triumph of the eternal life over death. It was published for first time in 1859 under the title. So Out of the Cradle, Endlessly Rocking is a poem that asserts the triumph of the eternal life over death, and it was published for first time in 1859. And what was the title of the first? Now your options are A Word Out of Sea, Hearing Secret Harmonies, A Child's Reminiscence, Song of Myself. So it was actually published for the first time as A Child's Reminiscence. A Child's Reminiscence. Next question. Leaves of Grass. Leaves of Grass is a collection of poems, poetry collection by American poet Walt Whitman, who is known as the father of free verse. Now, do you know that Walt Whitman is known as the father of free verse in American literature? And it is celebrated as his autobiographical sketch also. So, in which year Leaves of Grass was published for the first time? So, Leaves of Grass was published. Now, your options are 1867, 1790, 1855, 1800. So, Leaves of Grass by Walter Whitman or Walt Whitman was published in 1855. So C is the right option over here. C 1855 is the right option. Next question 603. Daddy. Daddy is a very famous poem written by the American confessional poet Sylvia Plath, who is married to Ted Hughes. So Daddy is a poem written by American confessional poet Sylvia Plath, who is married to Ted Hughes, and the influence of her father named Otto Plath can be seen in this poem. So in Daddy, we find the influence of her father, and her father's name is Otto Plath, and her father was a doctor, entomologist, teacher, a fascist ruler. So her father was actually an entomologist, that means who studies botany. So that is entomologist. Entomologist is the right answer. Next question. Emily Dickinson, the American poet, was a prolific writer. Most of her poems dealt with death and mortality. So, Emily Dickinson's poem dealt with death and mortality. Dickinson was an Indian writer, Australian writer, Commonwealth writer, American writer. So, Emily Dickinson was an American writer. So, D is the right answer. Moving on to next question, malapropism. Malapropism refers to the mistaken use of a word in place of a similar sounding one. So what is malapropism? Malapropism refers to the mistaken use of a word in place of a similar sounding one, often with an amusing effect. The term malapropism was coined by whom? Thomas Brown, Richard Sheridan, Thomas Moore, Coleridge. So here the malapropism was coined by Richard Sheridan in his work, that is the Rivals. The Rivals. The Rivals, okay, the malapropism word was coined. So Richard Sheridan is the right answer. Next question 606. North of Boston. North of Boston is the second collection of Robert Frost that was published by David Nutt in 1914. So North of Boston is second collection of poems that was published by Robert Frost, written by Robert Frost and published by David Nutt in 1914. Now, which is the opening poem of North of Boston? Which is the opening poem of North of Boston? First is home burial, mending wall, neither out too far nor in too deep. So here the opening poem of the poetry collection called North of Boston is here that is Mending Wall. Mending Wall is the opening poem of North of Boston. Next question. When lilacs last in the doorway bloom. When lilacs last in the dooryard bloom. It's a long poem written by American poet Walt Whitman. This was an elegy, lyric, sonnet, mock epic. So when lilacs last in the dooryard bloom, this was actually an epic poem. This was an elegiac poem, and it was written by Walt Whitman on the date of, it is an elegy on Abraham Lincoln. On Abraham Lincoln, who was the 16th president of US. Abraham Lincoln, so the 16th president of US. So Abraham Lincoln, it is an elegy on the date of Abraham Lincoln. Who wrote this? Walt Whitman. And what is the name of the poem? When lilacs last in the dooryard. Next question. Sylvia Plath was awarded with Pulitzer Prize for Poetry posthumously in the year. So she was awarded with the prestigious Pulitzer Prize after her death, that is posthumously, in the years 1978, 1982, 1981, 1990. So Sylvia Plath was awarded with the prestigious Pulitzer Prize after her death in 1982. 1982. So B is the right option. In 1982 is the right option. In 1982, she was awarded with the prestigious Pulitzer Prize. Moving on to question number 609. I would like to get away from art. I would like to get away from art and then come back to it and begin over. So I would like to get away from art and then come back to it and begin over. In which of the following poem these lines occur? Now your options are Mending Wall, the Angel, the Tower, the Birches. So these are all works written by Robert Frost, and these lines actually appear in Birches, in the poem Birches. I would like to get away from art a while and then come back to it and begin over. So this is Birches. Transcendentalism is a philosophical movement that developed in the late 1820s and 1830s in the eastern United States. Who among the following is not associated with the movement called Transcendentalism? Henry David Thoreau, then Ralph Waldo Emerson, Walt Whitman, Sylvia Plath. So Henry David Thoreau, Emerson, and Walt Whitman, these three are the part of Transcendentalism movement, whereas Sylvia Plath does not belong to this category. So Sylvia Plath is the right option because Sylvia Plath is a American confessional poetess. Next question. Ariel was the second book of Sylvia. Ariel is a poetry collection. It is a second collection of books by Sylvia Plath, and it was originally published in 1965. The introduction for Ariel. So the introduction of the Ariel was written by who? So who wrote the introduction to the poetry collection called Ariel? Now your options are Ted Hughes, Robert Lowell, Robert Frost, Annie Sexton. So the introduction to the poetry collection called Ariel was written by Robert Lowell. Robert Lowell has written the introduction to the collection of poetry called Ariel, written by Sylvia Plath. Next question. Pride and Prejudice. This is the novel written by Jane Austen, the Regency period novelist, was published in which year? 1811, 1812, 1813, 1814. So here, Pride and Prejudice was actually published in 1813, and its first title was, what is the first title of Pride and Prejudice? It was named as First Impression. It was named as First Impressions. It is the first title of Pride and Prejudice, and it was published in 1813 by Jane Austen. And next question here: who among the following is known as father of free verse in American literature? I earlier answered this question, actually told this question, mentioned this question, that father of free verse is Robert Frost, Emerson, Walt Whitman, Henry Newbold. So it's Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman is known as the father of free verse in American literature. So C is the right option. Moving on to question number 614. Which of the following poetic movement can be described as has been described as poetry of the personal or I. So poetry of the personal or I, focusing on extreme moments of individual experience, and that movement is focusing extreme moments of individual experience, the psyche and the personal trauma, like poetry, confessional poetry, transcendental poetry, modernist poetry. So it is actually confessional poetry. In the confessional poetry, poet actually mainly focuses on extreme moments of individual experience, the psyche and their psychological trauma or the personal trauma. Next question. Which of the following poet is associated both with the beat poetry, the beat generation of poetry, and the confessional poetry? So here, Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg, Emerson, Ralph Waldo Emerson, Sylvia Plath. So actually, Allen Ginsberg, the American poet, he is associated with both beat poetry and confessional poetry. So B is the right answer. Next question. You can't really understand America without Walt Whitman, without leaves of grass. So who said these lines? You can't really understand America without Walt Whitman, without leaves of grass. And who is quoted here? Who has said these lines? T.S. Eliot? No. Mary Berenson is born as Mary Whittle Smith, Ezra Pound, Abraham Lincoln. So it was Mary Berenson who was born as Mary Whittle Smith, said this line that you can't really understand America without Walt Whitman, without leaves of grass. It was the best writing of Walt Whitman, Leaves of Grass. Next question, which is a collection of who among the following called Whitman as America's poet? He is America. So किसने बोला है वाल्टर व्हिटमैन को ऐसे कि that he is known as America's poet and he is America? Was it Ezra Pound, Allen Ginsberg, Langston Hughes, June Jordan? So it was Ezra Pound. Ezra Pound ने बोला था कि Whitman क्या 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 बोला था? Ezra Pound has said that Whitman is the America's poet. He is America. Next question. Who among the following first used the term confessional? So किसने confessional term को पहले यूज किया था? In a review of Robert Lowell's life studies called Poetry as Confession. So that writer actually reviewing the life studies of Robert Lowell, and it is entitled, it is named as Poetry as Confession. And in that book, or in that that is review, that author has coined the term, used the term confessional. Now, who is he or she? Was it Ezra Pound, Stephen Stengel, M.L. Rosenthal? None of these. So it was M.L. Rosenthal has used the term confessional for the first time when he was actually studying the reviewing Robert Lowell's life studies called Poetry as Confession. Next question. Who is the only poet to receive 4 Pulitzer Prize for poetry? 4 बार मतलब उसको Pulitzer Prize मिला है. किसने? Allen Ginsberg, Sylvia Plath, Robert Frost. Robert Frost got Pulitzer Prize 4 times. Next question. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. And miles to go before I sleep. These are the famous lines from Robert Frost poem. Now you have to identify which poem is it. The road not taken, the roadside stand, birds is, it is by actually stopping by woods on a snowy evening. In that poem, these lines appear. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Okay. Who among the following was named Poet Laureate of Vermont? Who is known as the Poet Laureate? The Poet Laureate of Vermont. Walt Whitman? No. Robert Frost, John Whittier, William Godwin. So it was Robert Frost. Robert Frost is known as the Poet Laureate of Vermont. Next question. Okay. Those who are watching live, actually, please do like and share with your friends. Okay. Question number 62. A Mask of Mercy and a Mask of Reason were the plays written by John Osborne, Robert Frost, Girish Kennard, none of these. So, Mask of Mercy, Mask of Reason, these were plays written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost ने भी plays लिखा था, and the name of the plays are a Mask of Mercy and Mask of Reason. Next question. Which one is Sylvia Plath's novel? Sylvia Plath, the confessional American poetess, has also written novel. Now her novel is Catch 22. The Bale Jar, Ariel the Colossal. It's the Bale Jar. The Bale Jar is the novel written by Sylvia Plath. So B is the right option over here. Next question. In which of his poems given below we can see that Whitman's uninhibited treatment of sex. Okay. You can see the Whitman's uninhibited treatment of sex. In which box? Children of Adam, A Woman Waits for Me, Spontaneous Me, all that. हर एक poem में we find that we find Whitman's uninhibited treatment of sex. Children of Adam, Women Waits for Me, Spontaneous Me. These are all written by Whitman, the father of reverse American literature. Who wrote, I felt a funeral in my brain. I felt a funeral in my brain. Walter Whitman, Walter Whitman or Walter Whitman, same is Emily Dickinson, Robert Frost, Sylvia Plath. So it was Emily Dickinson. Emily Dickinson ने लिखा था कि I felt a funeral in my brain. This is the poem written by Emily Dickinson. Moby Dick, and its subtitle is known as The Whale. Moby Dick or The Whale. It was published in 1851. And it was written by whom? It was written by Herman Melville. Herman Melville लिखा था Moby Dick and its subtitle is The Whale, and it was published in 1851. So the novel depicts the obsessive quest of a character for a particular whale. What is the name of that character? What was the name of that character? The quest of a character. The characters of the main protagonist is Ismail Ahab, a Captain Boomer. Quick. So it is the Captain Ahab. Captain Ahab is the main protagonist of Moby Dick or The Whale. Next question. With understand, wit, and a knack for crafty symbolism, Robert Frost casts a cold eye on the real and figurative worlds that divides us through the poem Mending Walls. It was appeared first in the collection. So Mending Walls is the poem. This poem appeared in which collection for the first time? A Boy's Will, north of Boston, Mountain Interval, New Hampshire. So it is the north of Boston. In north of Boston, the poem Mending Walls appeared. Moving on to question number 6 to 8. Daddy is a poem. Daddy is a poem written by American confessional poet Sylvia Plath. So here, Daddy is a poem. So Daddy is a poem written by Sylvia Plath, the American confessional poet. The poem was written on October 12, 1962, 4 months before her death. So the poem primarily uses what kind of imagery? War image, Holocaust imagery, scientific temperament, all the above. So in Daddy, we find the brutal treatment of the Jews by the Nazi. That is known as Holocaust imagery. The brutal treatment of the Jews by the Nazi Germany, and that is known as the Holocaust imagery. So in Daddy, the poem that was written by Sylvia Plath, we find that kind of imagery. So B is the right option. Next question. Which of the following poem presents Death as a gentleman? Death as a gentleman who is riding in the horse carriage that picks up the speaker in the poem and takes the speaker on a journey to the afterlife. Because I could not stop for death. Daddy, I am nobody, who are you? I taste the liquor, never breathe. So it is actually because I could not stop for death in this poem that was written by Emily Dickinson. Death appears as a gentleman, and Death is riding, who is riding in the horse carriage that picks up the speaker, and Death is picking up the speaker in the poem and is taking the speaker on her journey to the afterlife. And who has written this poem? Because I could not stop for death. It is Emily Dickinson. Next question. Which of the following is not a collection of poems by Robert Frost? इसमें से कौन सा collection of poems Robert Frost ने नहीं लिखा है? न्यू हैम्पशायर, रॉबर्ट फर्स्ट ने लिखा। अब फर्दर रेंज लिखा है, that was also written by Robert Frost. West running group, this was also written by Robert Frost. But Song of the Open Road, it was not written by Robert Frost. So D is the right option. And Song of the Open Road was actually written by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman has written that is Song of the Open Road. So D is the right answer. Next question. The Nobel Prize was awarded to William Faulkner for his powerful and artistic. So William Faulkner is the American novelist, for his powerful and artistically unique contribution to the modern American novel. In which year he got the Nobel Prize? 1944, 1949, 1950, 1945. So actually, in 1949 he was awarded, but he received the Nobel Prize in 1950. So he was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1949, but he received the Nobel Prize 1 year later, that is in 1950. So William Faulkner received the Nobel Prize in 1950, but he was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1949. And he got the Nobel Prize in 1 year later, after 1 year. And here is the explanation. According to Nobel Foundation status, the Nobel Prize can, in such case, be reserved until the following year, and this statute was then applied. So William Faulkner therefore received his Nobel Prize for 1949 1 year later in 1950. So 1950 is the original, the right answer here. Okay. Which of the following is an example for expressionist play? इसमें कौन सा expressionist play है? The hairy ape, a streetcar named Desire, Macbeth, who is afraid of Virginia Woolf. Who is afraid of Virginia Woolf? So the hairy ape is actually written by that is Eugene O'Neill. The hairy ape actually written by Eugene O'Neill. Okay. Eugene O'Neill, that is Eugene O'Neill is the American writer here. And Streetcar Named Desire actually written by Tennessee Williams. A Streetcar Named Desire was written by Tennessee Williams, whereas Macbeth William Shakespeare. And Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf? It was written by Edward Elby. Edward Elby ने लिखा क्या? Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf? Edward Elby has written Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf. Macbeth, Shakespeare. A Streetcar Named Desire was written by Tennessee Williams, whereas the hairy ape is the right answer. It is the expressionist play, and it was written by Eugene O'Neill, the American dramatist. And here is the explanation that the hairy ape is a 1922 expressionist play by the American playwright Eugene O'Neill. It is about the beastly, unthinking laborer known as Young. So the main protagonist of hairy ape is Young. Young, the character, appears in the play that is called the hairy ape, that was written by Eugene O'Neill, who is the American playwright, the protagonist of the play, as he searches for sense of belonging in a world controlled by the rich. And another play that is A Streetcar Named Desire. A Streetcar Named Desire. This play was written by Tennessee Williams and is first performed in Broadway on December 3rd, 1947. And another famous work that is Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf? This is a play of Edward Elby. The play was written by Edward Elby and it was first staged in October 1962. It examines the complexities of the marriage of middle-aged couples. So, Hairy Ape is an expressionist play 1922 by American playwright Eugene O'Neill. A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf by Edward Elby. Next question. I am busted. Singles, that is what? Still watch me and I won't dwelt. Now I am not still and I dwelt wants me. Ah, well, I can't see, it is all dark, get me. It is all wrong. Which character created by Eugene O'Neill makes such an impression? So it is actually Young. Young from the expressionist play that is called Hairy Ape, that was published in 1922. Hairy Ape was published in this is the expressionist play published in 1922, and that was written by whom? It was by Eugene O'Neill, the American dramatist. And in that drama, in that play, Young is the central character, the main protagonist, and Young is here saying to himself, he is saying to himself that I am a busted in girls, that is what still was me and I want me dwelt. Now I am not still and dwelt wants me. Hell, I can't see, it is all dark and get me. So it is all wrong. Next question. Identify the wrongly matched pair. Wait, appears in Moby Dick, that is true. Manually is a character from Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. So Moby Dick actually are not. Moby Dick was written by whom? Moby Dick was written by Herman Melville. Melville ने लिखा है Moby Dick. So इसमें the character Quake appears. Manually is a character from the Old Man and the Sea, and that was written by Ernest Hemingway. Hemingway ने लिखा है The Old Man and the Sea. And Captain Bob Singleton, this was actually the title and character and name of the novel is the same. The character and the name of the novel is same. It is not the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, so it is the wrong answer. Captain Bob Singleton appears in Captain Bob Singleton. Name of the character and the novel is same, so this is the wrongly matched pair. C is the right answer. Whereas Dr. Longhurst appears in Omo. Omo is actually a novel written by Omo is actually a novel written by whom? It is actually written by that is the editor of Moby Dick, that is Herman Melville. Melville ने क्या लिखा है? Melville ने Omo लिखा है, Moby Dick भी लिखा है. So here C is the right option. This is the wrongly matched pair. Next question. Okay. Who is not a confessional? Who is not a confessional writer? Sylvia is confessional. Robert Noel confessional. Walt Whitman, Annie Sexton. So it is the Walt Whitman who is not a confessional poet. Annie Sexton, Robert Noel, Sylvia Plath, they are all confessional poets. Next question. Which of the following is a play by Tennessee Williams? Which of the following is a play by Tennessee Williams? Incident at PC, Summer and Smoke, The Prize, The American Club. So Tennessee Williams, the American playwright, the play by Tennessee Williams is Summer and Smoke. Summer and Smoke is a play written by Tennessee Williams. So here B is the right option. B is the right option written by Tennessee Williams. That is Summer and Smoke. Moving on to question number 637. Birches, a poem written by the American poet Robert Frost, who has received Pulitzer Prize 4 times, and he is known as terrifying poet. And remember this fact that Robert Frost is known as terrifying poet. He is known as terrifying poet. So who is known as terrifying poet? Robert Frost is known as terrifying poet. So the question is here, Birches is a poem by American poet Robert Frost. It was included in Frost's third collection of poetry called Mountain Interval. Mountain Interval is the third collection of poetry, which was published in 1916. And how many lines are there in Birches? There are 50, 59, 51, 56. So in Birches there are 59 poems. In Birches there are 59 poems, and it was written by that is Robert Frost, and Robert Frost is known as terrifying poet. So which poet is known as terrifying poet? It is Robert Frost. Next question. In Old Man and the Sea, in The Old Man and the Sea, the old man admires a baseball player. So in the novel The Old Man and the Sea, that was written by Ernest Hemingway. So here the old man is actually admiring a baseball player. What was his name? Finn Maggio, Joe DiMaggio, John Frederick, none of the above. So it was actually Joe DiMaggio. Joe DiMaggio is the right option. In The Old Man and the Sea, here the old man is actually admiring the baseball player, and the name of the baseball player is Joe DiMaggio. So B is the right option. Next question. What does the neighbor say in Mending Wall by Robert Frost? What does the neighbor say in Mending Wall? Mending Wall appears in which poetry collection? North of Boston. This is the poetry collection written by that is Robert Frost. In this collection, the poem appears in Mending Wall. So in that Mending Wall, what does the speaker, the neighbor, say? Let us be the best of friends. No. Then good fences make good neighbors. Or would not you be a good neighbor? So it is the good fences make good neighbors. So the neighbor is saying the good fences make good neighbors. Next question. Which of the following poem asserts the fact that earth is the right place for love? Earth is the right place for love. West Running Brook, Mending Wall, Birches, the Cambridge Ladies. So it is the Birches. In the poem The Birches, that was written by Robert Frost, here the poet is saying that earth is the right place for love. Next question. Which of Walt Whitman's contemporaries famously praised Leaves of Grass as the most extraordinary piece of wit and wisdom America has yet contributed? So as the most extraordinary piece of wit and wisdom America has yet contributed. Edgar Allan Poe, नहीं, Robert Frost. first, right? Emerson paid him. So it was Ralph Waldo Emerson, one of the transcendentalists, has said that leaves of grass are the most extraordinary piece of wit and wisdom America has yet contributed. C is the right option. Next question. What is James' initial destination? James' initial destination when he and her. So these characters actually appear in The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn that was written by Mark Twain. Mark Twain's novel, that is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Mark Twain has written The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and in that novel, the characters like Huck appears. So, in what is Jim's initial destination when he and Huck start downriver in the novel? Manhattan, his uncle's house, New Orleans, the Ohio River. So, their first destination was the Ohio River. The Ohio River is the first destination they were wanting to go there. The Ohio River. Next question. Okay. Yeah. The name of Ahab's sea in Moby Dick is Pickwick. Try to remember that in Moby Dick, the name of the captain Ahab's sea is Pickwick. The name was given after his died paid dog, no. His family, no. A vanished American tribe, an indigenous organism. So actually, the name of the ship, that is Pickwick, was given after the name of after the name or after a vanished American tribe. So C is the right option. After a vanished American tribe, C is the right option. Moving on to question number 644. When the novella The Old Man and the Sea opens, how long has it been since Santiago? So Santiago is the old man. So he is the protagonist of the novel The Old Man and the Sea, written by Ernest Hemingway. So how long has it been since Santiago last caught? कितने दिनों से उसने मछली नहीं पकड़ी? 20 दिन से 84, 30 days, 84 days, 50 days, 74 days. So it is 84 days. So since 84 days, Santiago has not caught fish. So B is the right answer. Next question. From which material was Captain Ahab's artificial lake was made? Now your options are wood, a whale's jawbone, spine of a whale. Now, so it is the whale's jawbone. So Ahab's artificial lake was made of a whale's jawbone. B is the right answer. Moving on to question number 646. Name of the town where Huck, Jim, Tom. So these are all characters from Huckleberry Finn, and that was written by Mark Twain. So name the town where Huck, Jim, and Tom live at the novel's opening. At the opening of the novel, the characters Huck, Jim, and Tom live at New Orleans, Manhattan, Lawrence, St. Petersburg. So it is the St. Petersburg is the right answer. Moving on to question number 647. What object Captain Ahab places on the sea first to motivate the search for his enemy Moby Dick? So Captain Ahab is searching whom? It is searching the enemy Moby Dick, the fish. So now Captain Ahab is actually trying to motivate the crews to search that enemy Moby Dick, and that's why he has hung something the mast of the sea. So a sum of money, a gold coin, a photograph of Moby Dick, a mirror. So it is a gold coin. So he is now willing to give the prize a gold coin, and motivating the other members of the sea to search for his enemy Moby Dick. Next. In the novella The Old Man and the Sea, the old man always dreams of lions in the beach, his wife, his death, a giant marlin. So the Old Man and the Sea, here the old man always dreams of lions and the lions in the beach, and it is actually reminding his the childhood days. He's actually reminding his childhood days. So lions in the beach is the right answer. Nothing is a purgatory process or Blanche in the play A Streetcar Named Desire. I have earlier mentioned that A Streetcar Named Desire is a play written by Tennessee Williams. Which of the following song does Blanche sing by talking about? Now your options are a southern folk song, it is only a paper moon, a polka song, a northern jazz song. So here the right option is it is only a paper moon. It is only a paper moon. The Planchi is singing here. It is only a paper. Today's last question. Wind of the session. Here is your last question on your screen. Question number 650. What is the name of the restaurant? What is the name of the restaurant where Beep, Happy and Beep take Willy Loman in the play Death of a Salesman? So Death of a Salesman is the memory play. Death of a Salesman is a memory play written by Arthur Miller. This is written by Arthur Miller, Death of a Salesman. Here, the two brothers, Happy and Beep, they are taking the main protagonist of the play, that is Death of a Salesman, that is Willy Loman, to which restaurant? Cafe New England, Frank's Shop House, Melanin's Cafe, or Antoquin House. So here the right option is Frank Chop's house is the right options there. So these were all 50 questions that I have discussed along with explanations in this video. I hope that you have liked the video. Please do not forget to subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon. Get no notification that I will upload. Please do not forget to share with your friends and hit the like button. इतना सारा क्वेश्चन मैं बना रहा हूँ, इतना सारा मेहनत कर रहा हूँ तुम लोग के लिए. अगर तुम लोग लाइक नहीं करते हो, सब्सक्राइब नहीं करते हो और शेयर नहीं करते हो तो वीडियो बनाने का कोई इंटरेस्ट मेरे में नहीं आएगा. प्लीज आई एम रिक्वेस्टिंग ऑल ऑफ यू, प्लीज डू शेयर, प्लीज डू लाइक एंड सब्सक्राइब द चैनल. जितना लाइक बढ़ेगा, जितना सब्सक्राइब बढ़ेगा, जितना शेयर बढ़ेगा, उतना ज्यादा वीडियो आएगा. ठीक है, क्योंकि देखो इतना सारा चैनल है यूट्यूब में, इतना सारा फ्री क्वेश्चन कहाँ पे नहीं मिलेगा. सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट चैनल दैट आई एम प्रोवाइडिंग फ्री क्वेश्चन. तो अगर आप उधर में जाओगे, दूसरा कोई चैनल पे जाओगे तो आपको सब्सक्रिप्शन लेना पड़ेगा. तो इधर पे आपको सब्सक्रिप्शन नहीं लेना पड़ रहा है. Just free questions you are enjoying. I hope that you are enjoying the free questions. And you also suggest me, then I will make videos on the topic. So one request to all of you, please do subscribe the channel and tap the bell icon. Thank you once again for watching the video.